Where are we at? New staff supports network attack.
Interesting.
I know you'd think that would be like supporting incoming network attack, but I'm sure we're going to find this the other way. This summer, the Secretary of Defense approved a proposal by the Commander of US Strategic Command to delegate authority for a significant part of the command's new Information Operations Center mission to the Director of NSA, who assumes another hat as part of his US Stratcom chain of command. As a result of this decision, blah, 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 General Hayden
Here we go again.
now serves as the US Strategic Command's Deputy Commander for Network Attack Planning and Integration. So, sure enough,
that guy.
CNA, Computer Network Attack, and CNE, Computer Network Exploitation. Operations to disrupt, deny, degrade, or destroy. Right, so CNE is harvesting, and that's what Snowden was involved in. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze.
Sneezing is the worst. I hate it.
Okay, so a really astute observer will remember that Snowden said that he did CNE for the FBI. So FBI targets, yeah, maybe some pennies are dropping. CNE target, FBI targets needed CNE performed on them, and Snowden was one of the, I'm sure, countless people who was doing CNE for FBI. So they would come in and actually compromise the routers, compromise the devices, the target devices.
Interesting.
Target networks. Right, and then gather the data from target or foreign automated information systems or networks for intelligence purposes. So, I mean, that could be targeting the ISP as well. It doesn't even mean target router or target network or target device. It could potentially be a higher level than that. And CNA is where they're actually meddling with it. Disrupting, denying, degrading, or destroying. So when they're actually up to no good inside the system, whereas CNE is passive. The passive exfiltration of the data.
Interesting.
And how did he come to be part of a warfighting command? Because there was a modification of the Unified Command Plan.
Psychological operations, military deception,
now we're talking electronic warfare. Holy shit. This led to a change in the Unified Command Plan, assigning responsibility for the full information operations mission. IO, Information Operations Mission, including computer network attack and defense, psychological operations, military deception, electronic warfare, which to this day they won't admit exists.
Yeah, of course not.
Let alone the fact that they are engaged in it, and operations security to US Stratcom. Okay, well.
So would that mean that then, I mean, an obvious finding from this particular document would be the proof that electronic warfare is engaged in by the US and the, these agencies?
Well, that's a different topic in and of itself. I wouldn't say that necessarily this is the proof that it exists, because there's already been pieces of legislation that reference it that have been in circulation for some time, where you can actually see that it's been approved, like, for engagement by the Congress. On the other side of it, I found that WikiLeaks, the document in WikiLeaks where the defense contractors have actually listed the hardware manufacturers of electronic weapons, and there's a whole list of all of the world's police agencies, security agencies that have purchased those weapons, and the dates of the rollout to the various departments all around the world, and the fact that they had already been tested and cleared for release.
Absolutely ridiculous.
what's ridiculous is that I still, even after having found that, get called a conspiracy theorist. It's like, I don't think you can be called a conspiracy theorist at the point at which there's a list of who manufactures it, a list of who purchased it, and all the details about them having been tested and operational. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's a freaking invoice.
When you have evidence like that, there's no, if you just cite the evidence and say, here's what it shows, there's no, you can't be disproven that way unless there's countering evidence. That's, it's an obvious ploy to discredit.
Right. It's like the Snowden's in it for the CIA, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. It fits under the psychological operations tag in that list. But
yes, you're absolutely right. And probably straight off Hayden's desk as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, now that we think about it, Hayden was also CIA director, wasn't he? Didn't he go from CIA to NSA?
Let me check how that went again. I'm going to Google it because, or I'm going to search.
One of them was both CIA and NSA directors, and I thought it was him.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep having to try to say Google it because I don't even use Google. It's just a term now that we all use. And I'm having to retrain myself to say search it or look it up. But, okay, so he was a former director of National Security Agency, obviously NSA, director of National Intelligence, and director of the CIA. I'm looking up the order in which that happened. He has been in a lot of places. So I believe it's telling me that he was in office from May 30, 2006 to February 12, 2009 as the CIA director. And I guess if anybody has a correction to that, just let me know in chat. Yes, he was nominated in 2006 by President George W. Bush to be director of the CIA after Porter J. Goss resigned. So it looks like since he was the director of the NSA from 1999 to 2005, he went from the NSA to the CIA. That's the order in which that happened. Yeah, I love that you guys are having such a great time talking in chat. It's really awesome to see. I'm those chats after the stream's over because, of the good information that is there that can get lost sometimes.
I'm not sure whether I'm happy to be vindicated or disgusted by what we're finding. It's like this fine line between both.
Yeah, it's like really like horrified that this is the truth and that this is what happened, but it's validated and vindicated that we're finding the truth in these documents. That's how I feel most of the time.
I just sent another tweet out about this document and electronic warfare.
Exactly. I know some people are going to be really interested in that finding.
And someone's tweeting me info on John Negroponte. I'll definitely come back to that later. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
I really appreciate you people researching this stuff. Just make sure, don't just send it to me, but tag it to #DecipherU.
Yeah, if you can throw it on Twitter.
So that everybody, all your tweets, what would be ideal is if we get to the point where we actually trend the hashtag. Because imagine how many people will see this information if we actually successfully trend the hashtag.
Yeah.
To trend the hashtag, you literally just have to sit there and spam retweet everything that's on it, and also write as many native tweets as possible about it and what's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Wow. Okay, let's finish the document.
For sure.
I'm stuck on how incredible that this happens to me all the time. I get stuck on like the first thing that is like incredible about it.
Yeah.
It takes me 20 minutes
sure.
to read the rest.
Because yeah, you can like write an entire article on one line in the first paragraph, and then you have to kind of get stuck researching and then come back to it.
Right.
And since this is sort of an experiment in journalism live, that's what we, that's what anybody does in real journalism as you're researching and writing. So
NSA fields the nation's most powerful capabilities for computer network exploitation, which makes me think, who then has the most powerful capabilities for defense? Anyone? Someone? Who can answer that question? Computer network attack uses similar tools and techniques as exploitation. If you can exploit it, you can attack it. Well, clearly, the expertise of Team Meade, which would be Fort Meade, I assume, and the former IRTC can help provide the nation with powerful capabilities for attack as well as exploitation. Snowden was just bang on. These guys just care about breaking shit. That's all they care about.
Yeah, and the fact that he was so correct means he must have, I mean, he didn't actually go through all of these, did he? Or did he just collect these in groups?
Who's that? Snowden?
Snowden. Did he actually get a grip of all of the content of all of these files, or was it more of a certain sections?
Nobody knows in the public realm. I'm pretty sure because I know pretty much everything that's in the public realm about Snowden. That has never been ascertained. There was a famous moment where John, what's his face, the comedian? Help me out here.
Oh, yeah. I'm blanking as well. What's his name?
The comedian that came to Moscow and interviewed. It was the famous dick pics interview. Well, that's what it was. It was the dick pics interview where Snowden very cleverly made everybody understand exactly how not cool it is for the NSA to be in their cell phone.
Yeah, like it actually brought the point home. I remember
John Oliver, in the John Oliver interview.
Right.
Let me guess, someone in chat saying John Oliver. No, okay.
Yeah, no, my point wasn't to like try and get any insider information on that. I just was saying that because if he had actually gone through, that would be an amazing feat if he had gone through, gotten a grip on what all of these documents said enough that he could accurately say they were so interested in attack and not on defense. Like those
Well, I think he was saying that from personal experience. I think he was saying that from being inside the agency. He would have seen around him who was tasked with doing what. He would have worked with many of these people and understood what their jobs were and what their roles were. And he would have seen the focus of the agency. But also remember that all of these reports that we're seeing were emailed to staff.
Definitely.
So staff were seeing these reports. Even I mean, half of these reports, their primary purpose is to educate staff about what other staff are doing. Ironically, if they hadn't put so much effort in trying to teach everyone what everyone else was doing, we wouldn't know half of this stuff. So it's actually, I'd be surprised if a lot of this would still be written today. It's if they. Now that they've been forced, I guess, to be a bit more defense-minded, they probably wouldn't. But in response to your question about whether Snowden read the documents, John Oliver inferred that he hadn't. But there was a really botched, or hatched editing job done on that interview. Okay. So I actually wrote an article about the John Oliver interview, and one of the things I noticed when I analysed it is that Snowden's response to that specific question there was really dodgy editing done to try to make him look stupid and try to make him look like he hadn't read it.
Interesting.
So that's actually, it's on Indarken if you want to read it. If you go to Indarken.co.nz and type in John Oliver.
Yeah, well, my only point was that obviously that these documents are clearly bearing out what he has said, and that's all the point I was trying to make there. Is it
Yeah.
this is just
So
supporting the veracity?
no one knows precisely how many documents he took or gave to
Yeah.
the Intercept, and nobody knows whether or not he's read them. My educated guess, which I'm sure wouldn't be a surprise to the NSA, would be that Snowden is a developer, so he would have written a script. So he
Yeah.
would have written a script for a bunch of keywords, and
That
then he
sounds
would have
absolutely
taken
logical.
documents that, but then again, he took PDFs as well. So that's another factor to consider, is that they came in PDF format, which is part of what made them very difficult for Intercept to vet and to release, because they couldn't search on them. Now there is software that allows you to search on text and images. Whether or not Snowden would have been able to use that in the course of taking those documents, I don't know.
Yeah.
So really, we have no idea how he decided which ones to take or any of those particulars, and we may never know that.
Yeah.
Probably not particularly relevant either, because the seriousness of what we are finding in them, just as us as lay people,
Absolutely.
discovering this information, justifies pretty much anything that he did, as far as I'm concerned.
Definitely. No, that's not even a question at all. No, we need to know this information. So.
Okay, back to our document. I think we'll probably finish on this one tonight. It's been a pretty exciting, though, episode so far.
Yeah, we've found a lot of really good documents. So good stuff.
Okay, so his mission is to leverage their staff, NSA staff. To accomplish this, he has established a new organization, not just a division and not just a team and not just a project and not just a mission, a new organization. The US Stratcom Network Attack Support Staff. Well, holy crap.
Another finding.
That is the first time in all of the documents that we have read that there was a new organization set up. I'm just stopping share momentarily because I'm just adding this to my notes. Right.
We keep finding amazing stuff this evening. It's great.
Yes.
Sometimes we get through.
Incredible.
It's like the day we found that US UN document about Colin Powell and George Bush. We got through like 3 documents that day, but it was such an important finding.
You never know, You never know.
Yeah, and sometimes we breeze through 20, 50, and then sometimes we get stuck on 1 or 2, but either way is good.
This is very much quality over quantity, this work. Yeah. Definitely. We need to stick like an asterisk or something alongside our notes to double check the Intercept reporting, because I find it virtually impossible to believe that this wasn't in it, and I would check it.
I can check that right now.
I think it needs to be checked, definitely.
Yeah, let me just...
Be careful with the language. If I were you, I'd search on Hayden.
Okay.
I wouldn't try and search on the CNA or the CNE or even the name of the organization. I'd search on Hayden and see what comes up. Because I feel, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like it was somewhere in their reporting, but they may have reworded it.
Yeah.
I'll just keep going through the doc in the meantime.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. And I will look more thoroughly later as well.
Their mission is to plan CNA courses of action, CNA being to disrupt, destroy, deny, degrade, in support of combatant commander requirements. So this would be what Stuxnet came from in later years, I would imagine, because Stuxnet was literally developed to destroy a system from the inside. To develop all source intelligence requirements in support of planning to do that, and to support US. So they basically use existing NSA intelligence to support planning potential destruction missions, data destroying missions, data degrading missions. and to support US STRATCOM, which is not just NSA, but all those agencies, in the development of standards to promote readiness of DoD CNA forces and capabilities. This is huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Mr. Mike Shank, who served as director, is the chief of staff of the Network Attack Support Staff. Captain someone also is his deputy. You'll be hearing more about NAS in the coming months for further blah, blah, blah. Wow, holy crap. So interesting that it says that their mission is not to execute, but to plan.
Interesting.
To plan and to support in the development of standards. So that's kind of like phase one.
Yeah.
So this is 2004. So I would call this phase one Stuxnet.